For Christmas Eve, I'd like to share a summary of the first 3 seasons of the Ben 10 reboot. Without much more to say, I'll be quiet for a month and wish you an early Merry Christmas. This is a different story, which begins long after Ben finds his Omnitrix, a couple of months to be more precise. I'm telling you this because Ben has faced several enemies and used 9 of those aliens.
A new one.
The start of the reboot shows us the debut of the new alien. Overflow turns out to be the 10th alien in the Omnitrix. The other 9 are 4 Arms, the super powerful red alien, Heat Blast, Ben 10's initial alien, XLR-8, who will always be XLR-8, Diamond Head, who wears yellow, Cannon Bolt, and gray matter, featuring the new purple upgrade, Wildvine with legs, and Stinkfly as a dragonfly. If you're wondering why this happened, it's just one of the small differences in this reboot dimension. Not everything will be as we knew it. In this dimension, Grandpa Max is entirely useless. Or at least that's what it seems. Look how Kevin is looking at you. Here we also find that Gwen sadly lacks any powers. During the team's journey, Tennyson remains an ordinary girl who relies on her intelligence. During their journey, the Tennysons will face several enemies, including a familiar one.
What is Hex doing here?
Nothing good. Do you remember that the reboot starts sometime after Ben finds the Omnitrix? Well, this isn't the first time Ben has dealt with it. They know the enemy they're facing. How could they not? Hex returns in the reboot with a mystical, dangerous object. The Gauntlets of the Titans, capable of moving mountains and turning them back into the dust from which they came to reshape the world.
I feel the power of thousands of gods coursing through my veins.
Fortunately, Ultra T's new abilities let him merge with the Gauntlets, enhancing them until they destroy themselves. Saving the world for the first time? We don't know. What we do know is that Animo appears, but not physically. It's Dr. Animo Accidente, the most ingenious and most respected scientist in all of history. Well, in all of history. While traveling, the Tennyson team stumbles upon one of Dr. Animo's secret bases, experimenting on animals by enhancing and altering their DNA. Here, for the first time, the Omnitrix suffers a slight malfunction that leaves Ben transformed into Insectoid for an indefinite period of time.
It's about time.
Wait, are you human?
Yeah, long story.
Even in this reboot, some things never change, like Ben's fear of clowns.
Hey kids, excited for the big day!
Zombozo, a memorable enemy, makes his official debut. These two didn't know each other. Being a very respectable villain, Zombozo's plan is to hypnotize the audience and then rob them.
Classic trick.
What Zombozo didn't realize was that the Tennyson family and some suspicious friends of Grandpa Max were in the audience.
The truth is they're really good.
Look at the way Kevin is looking at you. To me, they also look like retired plumbers. With Grandpa Max's friends, the Tennyson team sets off in a new direction and encounters Dr. Animo again, not yet in his physical form. Apparently, this evil mad scientist has a big plan that leads him to keep sending his minions to do the work for him. Here we meet the Madman's latest abomination, a giant bug that devours everything. Grandpa Max is one of the unfortunate ones who ends up inside it.
Grandpa! Okay, normally I always go for the pow 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 to win, but I can't risk hurting Grandpa, so...
Down here, I'll use my brain instead of my muscles this time.
Here, for the first time, we see a significant change in Ben. With the help of gray matter, he manages to get Grandpa Max out safe and sound, although Animo is still free and things seem to be getting worse little by little. The Omnitrix fails again, but from another perspective, it's not truly a failure. Let me explain.
Ben becomes so exhausted that he unconsciously uses the Omnitrix and can switch between aliens. Ben, you change from alien to alien in your sleep.
Gwen. Seems I'm not the only one who needs a nap.
The real mess up, and a big one, is when Ben breaks the Omnitrix. And oh man, against who he does it? Let me tell you, the Climatons make their debut. These are new, extremely dangerous enemies who have the power to control the weather. and a plan that leaves us really uneasy.
First, the mammals in this park are going to have it. Then the rest of the universe will tremble when they hear about the Climatons. The Climatons, huh?
Ben confronts them with the broken Omnitrix, turning into Grey Arms, a flawed fusion that weakens the alien enough for the Climatons to defeat him with one hit. The situation forces Team Tennyson to make a strategic retreat. Grandpa Max witnesses Ben's flawed transformation and appears to understand the situation.
I'm no expert, but it looks like it's in reset mode. It's best not to use it until the repair cycle is done.
Grandfather Max shares wisdom. During the escape, the Climatons appear and pull the rust bucket into the tornado. Hopeless and defeated, Ben must use the Omnitrix, which now gives him an amalgam, a fusion of all his aliens. Nearly controlled, Ben prepares to fight, but realizes Earth is in grave danger.
Oh, is the storm going into space? So that's what they meant by cosmic cyclone. This has been fun, Big Head, but you've seen enough.
It seems like time is up for both of you. The Climatons attack first, but Ben uses his intelligence and experience with aliens to excel. In the middle of the battle, he notices the presence of a machine that seems to be the center of the cyclone's power. With great subtlety, he tricks the Climatons into shooting their own creation. The chaos causes the cyclone to overflow, dragging everything into space, including, of course, the Climatons. The battle has been won, but this time it was very different from the others. This leaves Ben with a great experience and a great fear of what might be beyond the universe.
Those Climatypes were planning something really bad. Honestly, what if the real storm is still coming?
The lessons learned in battle will serve Ben, the Tennysons, and the future. Grandpa Max is the first to show this, subtly telling Ben during the fight with Vapor Smythe that it's better to forget the past.
Ben, I know today was traumatic for you.
What we should do is make sure that the lessons we learn help us move forward.
For his part, Ben, throughout the new Confrontations, starts making better use of his aliens, which leads him to do things he didn't dare to do before. Like the energized shine of Diamond Head, the great use of upgrade with objects, or giving Overflow the ability to fly. All these are factors that help Ben improve. Ben will encounter many trials with the Tennyson team, including a major one against Lord Decibel, a new foe aiming to split Earth in two.
I can't hear you because a madman is trying to split the planet, and there's a wall of sound around the stadium.
We know, Grandpa. We're inside.
Ben and Gwen are alone. Practicing with his aliens boosts Ben's confidence, and he tries new attacks. With Heat Blast's help, he creates a gap in the sound wall, enters, and defeats Lord Decibel.
Yes!
Another great challenge will be given to him by one of the characters who has remained hidden for a long time. Dr. Animo finally makes his physical appearance, and he reveals to us what he has been doing all this time.
For years I've worked on my transmutate array, but after seeing your watch in action, I thought of something new, the Animutator.
Some key facts will matter later. One is that Dr. Animo's ray merges two species' DNA and releases their wild side. End of this crucial fact, Ben's improved use of his aliens makes him overconfident and less thoughtful about his actions. In the battle, after nearly defeating Dr. Animo, he makes a big mistake and melts Animo's ray. No one expected the explosion to trigger an uncontrollable mutation in its creator, Dr. Animo. Now, only a raging, powerful beast remains. Ben faces his most intense and violent battle yet. Ben grows concerned as no alien can stand up to him. Unable to defeat him, Gwen recalls a photo of Dr. Animo's father, the only one who could restore him. With the Omnitrix out of power and about to be defeated, Ben takes a chance, managing to return Dr. Animo to normal.
The Animutator was my greatest creation and you ruined it, Tennyson. I'll be back for revenge.
Zombozo returns once again to give Ben the final test. The clown's goal is to hypnotize the entire world.
You've lost, kid. With my hypno energy, I'll create an army of slaves and conquer the world. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Classic trick.
With Grandpa Max and Gwen under Zombozo's control, Ben gets lucky when the Omnitrix gives him XLR-8, the perfect alien to change things.
Now everyone will go back to normal.
The almost perfect control of his aliens and the occasional help from the Omnitrix at just the right moments have made Ben want more power.
I'm not that powerful.
More power! Isn't 10 enough?
After his unfinished battle, Dr. Animo returns with one of his strongest new mutations. He easily defeats Cannonball, but that's not the worst part.
Am I the one making that noise? That sound is new.
The Omnitrix starts to malfunction, making a strange noise. Now, Animo reveals his plan and begins what we could call the beginning of the end. Since the Omnitrix gives Ben a new alien, whom he unconsciously names Gax. This alien's powers far exceed Dr. Animo's mutation, earning Ben's admiration and quickly becoming his favorite.
Behold the Space Laser Squid King!
This is a fact that will be vital for the season finale. Gax's species can survive or at least withstand lava for a long time. End of the vital fact. Sadly, Ben isn't ready for that power. The Tennysons have to step in.
I don't know if Gax is the best alien for this job.
Of course he's the best for this job. He's the best for everything.
Ben, this is really serious. You still can't control Gax.
Shh. Just trust me.
Blinded, Ben uses Gax again and causes trouble. The volcano erupts, trapping the rust bucket. Luckily, Gax is powerful enough to take out the giant bug, avoid the lava, and save the rust bucket at the same time. I freaking love Gax.
Isn't it odd you haven't changed yet? Shouldn't you have turned into Ben?
All of a sudden, everything started to go relatively wrong. Something in the Omnitrix is making Ben lose control, randomly transforming him into different aliens. Grandpa Max's concern leads them to turn to old friend, who seems to have some experience with this.
Let's go downstairs and find Phil. I don't want to waste more time.
During the search, they find Phil trapped in the subway. With Forearm's help, they repair the train and continue.
I wouldn't celebrate just yet.
Exactly, Grandpa Max. Things worsen when, during their escape, 3 aliens, bounty hunters after the Omnitrix, intercept them and Phil recognizes them. Ben quickly transforms into Overflow, where we're introduced to a new attack called Flood, but with the Omnitrix failing every second. They make the battle get out of control, managing to ruin the train's console and leaving them with no options to stop. Seeing the situation, the enemy aliens retreat and Ben, as Walva, doubts his alien's power.
I can't reach it like this. I need a stronger alien like Gax. Believe me, kid, you have all the power you need right here.
Grandpa Max arrives to help, and with Phil's advice, Ben regains confidence and saves himself just in time. Epic! Max interrupts the moment and asks Phil why the Omnitrix is malfunctioning and why those aliens attacked them. Phil replies they weren't after the Omnitrix, but what was inside it?
Inside? But what? Gax.
After several investigations, Phil can't find the error. For now, the only thing he can do is monitor the energy signals from the continuous alien shapeshifting. Annoyed and tired of being a guinea pig, Ben vents his anger in the forest. While trying to remove the monitoring device from the Omnitrix, he accidentally cracks it, causing its signals to emit more strongly. These actions attract the attention of a strange being that arrives from space.
Gax's elderly twin brother?
Coincidentally, this one appears to be the same species as Gax. An elderly chimera named Vil offers his knowledge to help Ben unlock his alien's full potential. After some training, Ben realizes that with precision and discipline, he could be indestructible. The old man takes Ben's trust and throws it away, as in a moment of carelessness, he betrays him by absorbing Gax. The Omnitrix contained Chimera DNA, known as Gax from Alien number 11. Let me tell you, this DNA actually belonged to Vilgax, the Conqueror of Worlds. Long ago, it was divided due to its great power and ambition to conquer the universe. The Omnitrix's signal alerted his evil half to its status, and to the bounty hunters, who rejoined the battle, now to stop Vilgax.
Vilgax has merged. We have to stop him.
Unfortunately, it's too late. Vilgax defeats the bounty hunters, and then he beats up Ben. The worst part is that after being damaged, the Omnitrix appears to have fused, emitting the signals of the 10 aliens, but not that of its wearer. Knowing that Earth is now in danger, the only option Phil suggests is to defeat Vilgax, since he's the reason for their problems. Although this could put Ben's life at risk.
How am I supposed to do that? I already lost to him once because my transformations are...
Formations!
After much thought, Ben chooses to fight one last time, marking the start of the final blows. After realizing he can't defeat Vilgax, Ben gives his all. Gwen desperately joins the fight, but Ben remains clear on what must be done.
I have a mission for you. Please take care of Grandpa. Ben, but what? Here you go.
Ben must do everything in his power to eliminate Vilgax and save the Earth, even if his life depends on it. Ben transforms into Ultra T and quickly starts heading toward Vilgax's ship.
You can't escape. The Omnitrix won't save you. If my ship goes down, so do you.
Ben thinks about his family and as a last resort decides to upgrade the Omnitrix with the help of Ultra T. Following a risky move, Ben gets a new Omnitrix and temporary master control over his aliens, leading to battles with old enemies and improved alien abilities. Lead Ben to defeat Vilgax. As the ship is about to be lost in lava, Ben leaves Vilgax to his fate, and becomes XLR-8 to escape and rejoin his family. Although things don't end here, since the Tennyson team must prepare for new threats. He'll do it with a new Ben, Omnitrix, and Alien, leading to several surprises. For this second season, the Tennyson team has made an epic arrival to the second season. Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max quickly begin to suffer the consequences of their actions from last season as they once again encounter Vilgax. Yeah, let me tell you, the squid is alive and kicking. His body has suffered major damage and he apparently hasn't fully recovered. But he's still Vilgax, and he's planning to steal a ship and go back to his evil plans. Luckily, Ben won't make it easy for him, as he now has a new Omnitrix that surprisingly gives him an upgrade. For his aliens, Diamond Head is the first to gain this unusual but useful power.
It's different, but I like it.
Now I should mention that the fights start right from the beginning. Ben and his aliens gain so much power it may overwhelm him. Vilgax is thrown off the ship, and with Diamond Head's enhanced abilities, they avoid disaster. Summer seems to have gotten better for the Tennysons. Ben is famous and all his aliens now have the previously seen power, now called Omni Enhancement. Some aliens stand out, like Heat Blast, whose Omni-enhanced armor lets him fly and shoot fire with electricity, and Overflow, who has the most overpowered armor. Check out that design, dude. Water and electricity are a perfect combination, plus he can make ice. Best alien this season. Hope nothing happens to him. Insectoid now has electricity and guided shots. XLR8 is now faster. Wildvine, who now looks like his original design again. Cannonball, who looks like his ultimate form. 4 Arms transforms into 6 Fists, while Gray Matter provides a combat-ready body. Okay, and Ultra T, about whom we don't know anything, not even any news. Throughout his journey, Ben and his Omni-enhanced aliens are nearly indestructible. Against Zombozo, not only does he manage to defeat him, but he also causes his team to split up. Let me tell you something, Zombozo's team wasn't always like we knew it. Exploring his past reveals he was once just an ordinary boy, and because of several excesses on Zombozo's part, he became the monster we now know. This, as grim as it sounds, makes Zombozo's character one of the best. The clown's twisted mind isn't to be messed with. Ben will find out soon. What we do find out immediately is that Vilgax and Dr. Animo form an alliance.
Vilgax, are you two working together?
Yes, it works!
Vilgax had provided important information to Dr. Animo, with which he was able to create a weapon capable of collecting DNA. As this was crucial information for future seasons, Dr. Animo never expected Vilgax to betray him. He had simply used him to obtain the DNA and his genetic laboratory.
That fool Animo gave you enough for today.
Aha! How does betrayal feel?
Dr. Animo, seeking revenge, steals the DNA weapon and injects himself with it. Odd as it seems, this was the mad scientist's only option. Hundreds of DNA samples coursed through Dr. Animo's body, transforming several parts of his body into alien DNA. All of this would stop when one transformation would take over Dr. Animo's body.
Let me tell you something. All this time I've been experimenting on animals.
Dr. Animo would transform into an apoplexian known as Wrath and briefly join Ben Tennyson to defeat Vilgax. Dr. Animo would ultimately exploit the situation to attack Ben. He would be surprised as his time had run out.
What happened?
It's just that your time is up. It sucks, doesn't it?
Continuing with the journey, the Tennysons begin to realize that the power Ben has received is too much for him.
I don't know, Ben. These plasma powers are unpredictable. Can you handle this?
Yeah, no problem. Besides, it wasn't me, it was him.
The Omnitrix.
What? Vilgax? Oh my? Yes. The Conqueror of Worlds appears again, this time to give Ben a warning. Vilgax tells him that the power he just obtained could destroy the world he's trying to protect.
Very suspicious.
It's clear that he's lying.
He's just trying to get the Omnitrix from you.
Yes, you're right. Ben obviously ignores the warning and decides to take down this squid with one of his new upgrades, Omni-Enhanced Heat Blast. He powerfully attacks Vilgax, then realizes he has frozen everything nearby.
Did I do this?
The Tennysons distrust Vilgax, but realize Ben's new power could make him a real threat.
See, kid, that's proof enough that you can't handle these powers.
The Omnitrix activates itself, introducing Ben to a new alien that greatly frightens Vilgax. He warns him that this alien will only bring doom. Ben ignores the warnings again and transforms into the 12th alien, called Shock Rock. Without wasting any time, they start fighting again with special moves. During the battle, Vilgax reveals something really disturbing to us. The new alien is so dangerous that it will wipe out every living creature, including Vilgax himself.
Do you care more about being a hero than saving the Earth? I'm afraid for all of us.
Vilgax's words have worried Ben so much that he's actually starting to consider his options. Gwen, seeing this, comes over to calm things down, saying he just needs some training.
You are never going to make it. You're not good enough. There are a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. You think you're going to make it, but you just don't get it. That's impossible and improbable. You're irresponsible with too many obstacles. Slow down. You can't be a pro. It's not your time anymore. Who are you to tell me what to do? I don't care if you disapprove. I'll make my move soon because that's what I want. All these opinions and positions flood in, clouding your vision, but don't listen. They're fiction. You have power as long as you're driven.
You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. Yeah, maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back.
Unfortunately, every time he uses the new alien, things get worse.
Why don't you want me to find happiness?
A pattern emerged. Whenever Ben uses the Omnitrix, the weather turns strange.
Ben,
stay away from me.
It's fine. We'll figure it out together.
I could have hurt them. I can't control this.
Finally.
Ben finally accepts the situation. He knows he can't control the power of the Omnitrix. Vilgax arrives at just the right moment to save Ben.
Grandpa.
I know this isn't right.
Gwen's looking at you oddly. I think something's up. Gwen sees a lightning bolt strike without Ben using the Omnitrix, so she investigates. And what a surprise she gets. She meets the Weatherheads, who allied with Vilgax to steal the Omnitrix from Ben.
The Weatherheads? Snow and tornadoes? It wasn't me, it was all a trick. That means I was right about Vilgax.
Ben, knowing the situation, now gets ready to give it his all with his new alien, which is totally overpowered. Shockrock is an alien made of pure energy who absorbs and releases it in stronger attacks. Ooh, Shockrock is messing up. The Climatons recognize the situation and introduce a new transformation, merging their parts into a powerful entity called Perfect Storm. Now the epic beatdowns are about to begin. Thanks to Shockrock's new abilities and the fact that the Climatons realized they were betrayed by Vilgax, Ben manages to absorb enough power to defeat him. Now, knowing the truth, the Tennyson team must prepare, since Vilgax is willing to form an alliance with all of Ben's enemies. During the Tennyson's journey, we encounter X in a special situation as he is about to die. Here we learn some of X's past, as he has existed for a long time. He used special creatures to find portals that led him to a well that reanimated his powers in this earthly world. Super interesting, but Ben doubts he can trust an enemy again. Gwen considers it more carefully. She trusts X's words and persuades Ben to help him.
A few moments later.
Oh, I can't believe I saved your life.
No, X is actually grateful. For now, things will remain the same, and Ben won't have to worry about this enemy for a while. That's actually good for him now, since it's one of the things he needs to worry about. Is Vilgax, who we found out has a new battleship and a drone factory. During this time, Vilgax has pursued his main goal, taking the Omnitrix from Ben Tennyson, a top priority for him and other key characters in the universe. Since mercenaries Tetrak, 66, and Crab return, their goal is still the Omnitrix. Shockrock leads the fight against them, which doesn't seem to be a surprise for them. On the contrary, they come prepared to trap him. They didn't expect Shockrock to be so powerful, finishing them all off instantly.
Leave my cousin alone.
Shockrock, I fucking love it. Ben's power is so great that it drives his enemies to take desperate actions. Like Vapor Smythe, who copies Ben's aliens and demonstrates the villain's potential. With very old technology, he managed to create several aliens. Or like Zombozo, who after losing all his helpers, is recruited by Vilgax, who had studied his abilities and offers him an alliance. Here, Vilgax finally reveals he needed a power source for his ship all along. With it, he would build a machine that, thanks to the DNA he stole along with Dr. Anima, would allow him to transform all beings into aliens. Under his command, Zombozo would be the final piece to use his mind-controlling machine as a way to expand all of this. A real genius, seriously. This time, the Tennyson team must work together to win. Gwen and Grandpa Max are taken to Vilgax's ship, while Ben distracts Vilgax and Zombozo. The others will destroy the machine and the drones. Fortunately, everything turns out well. Ben destroys Vilgax's ship, and Grandpa Max and Gwen disconnect Zombozo's machine core, thus managing to prevent the spread of the mutation ray. One of the best battles in which the entire Tennyson team was helpful. After a break, the Tennyson team enjoys the races. But the Omnitrix starts acting very strange, turning him into an alien, which is actually very common. Strangely, whenever Ben tries to turn into Upgrade, he becomes Shockrock instead. And that's not the worst part. The alien begins hearing voices in his head.
Intervention soon.
What's wrong, Ben?
I don't know.
Ben tries to put the subject aside and continues with the race. But this time he's interrupted by a machine that's strangely adapted to Ben's alien's electric and enhanced attacks.
Can't you hurt me?
All that effort and nothing to show for it.
In the battle, Ben is overwhelmingly outmatched. Unable to do anything, he decides to listen to the voices and transforms into Shogun. The voices in his head give him instructions on how to create much deadlier weapons, and Ben successfully follows them. Allowing him to finish off this machine, which was actually Vilgax, Shockrock quickly continues receiving instructions.
Okay, I have to take it out.
Vilgax is locked up, but not before telling Ben something important.
It's not a newly discovered source of power. It's a sign of your destiny.
The voices in his head have become nightmares instead of dreams. Vilgax realizes what happened and reveals valuable information, asking if the Fulmini have contacted him yet. Ben's nightmares are becoming more frequent and are starting to cause havoc in real life.
You were asleep, transformed into Shock.
Sleepwalking like Shock? Please tell me I didn't break something.
Well, not exactly, but you did build something.
Ben, while unconscious in his Shockrock transformation, had created a machine that once turned on, stole Shockrock's energy. He emitted an energy pulse into space with it. Vilgax's reaction is so strong that it seems this time the squid was telling the truth.
I'll tell you what happened.
You told the Fulmini where you live, and now they're coming for you.
Vilgax reveals that Shockrock is part of a world-conquering alien race called the Fulmini. He used his transformation to manipulate Ben. The aforementioned machine was the key that opened a portal so the entire Empire could begin the invasion of Earth. Now the gateway was in the Omnitrix, and only Vilgax could help them. Imagine how serious the situation was for Vilgax to actually tell us the truth and have to help the Tennysons. With no other choice, they team up and enter the Omnitrix to block the Fulmini Empire's entry. With Gray Matter and Vilgax's help, they issue a command letting both enter the Omnitrix. Although things were much worse than we thought, several soldiers were already in the Omnitrix's loading chamber. Both must fight them, but since they're endless, they know continued fighting means defeat. Vilgax starts issuing a command to reach the Omnitrix's central chamber, and Ben notices this.
There are a lot of things I know about the Omnitrix that you don't, Tennyson, and I won't bother to explain them, understand?
Both are taken to the central chamber, but Vilgax denies responsibility.
I didn't open that door.
I mean, how? If you didn't open it, who did?
I thought you needed help.
A strange purple creature resembling Ben appears. He introduces himself as Fala, saying he's a mix of Ultra T and Ben's DNA.
I had to replace the destroyed capsule with a new one. Fulmini can absorb excess power with their abilities.
That explains my upgrades.
The situation looks dire, as the invasion worsens with the arrival of a new villain. The leader of the Fulmini, Gran Annulacion, has awakened, and with this, the final preparations for the invasion begin. Quick decisions are needed. Vilgax proposes sealing off the Omnicore entrance, essentially the heart of the Omnitrix. In the middle of all this discussion, Ben makes a huge mistake by transforming into Shock Rock, only managing to let Gran Annulacion completely control his mind, giving him a huge power-up and turning him against Vilgax and Fala. This is one of those special battles where we can't support Ben. Ben is unstoppable and defeats Vilgax, sending him to the Null Void. This is another piece of vital information for the following seasons. With only Fala left to save Earth, he calls Grandpa Max and Gwen into the Omnitrix to help Ben regain his senses. Let me tell you, no one can defeat the power of family.
Sorry, family. I lost my head for a moment.
Ben!
Ben returns to normal, but he's still just one of the insignificant bugs against Grand Nullification.
To beat nullification, you must be super aliens. In fact,
look at the way Kevin is looking at you. Grandpa Max, you hide being a plumber, but why? Those questions remain unanswered for now, but we will see the most ultra-violent and epic battle yet in the reboot. All the Tennysons transform into aliens, while Ben turns into a super fusion. Everyone knows they have to give their best to stop the alien invasion. So I'll be quiet for a month and leave you with this incredible battle. With the nullification halted, the Tennysons race against time. Since the Omnitrix is in a feedback process, Fala merges and manages to extract the many DNA capsules and gets the Tennysons out safe and sound. The big reward for Ben is the upgrade of his Omnitrix, which will grant Ben next level aliens, powerful enough to fight their mutated counterparts. Since 2 new Omnitrixes will be present in the 3rd season, the 3rd season of the reboot begins with 3 big surprises. First, the Omnitrix update gave Ben new aliens. The return of Mongosaur, Wrath, and new alien Slavag, matching Wildvine, Grey Matter, and Overflow Nino should be highlighted. No news, these aliens are currently missing. The second is the Roscopter, a huge ship Grandpa Max and Phil worked on over the summer. Anyway, the ship will now help them a lot since some important missions will be carried out around the world. The third and most important point is Kevin Levin appears with an Omnitrix.
Another Omnitrix?
Yes, he received the blueprints to recreate the Omnitrix's power through a dream. And if you're thinking that Azimuth sent them to him, well, let me tell you he didn't. The one responsible was Vilgax. He reached the Null Void because of Ben and began plotting revenge, planning to use Kevin for his future schemes. We'll get to that, but for now, having 2 Omnitrixes will make things more intense. Since Kevin's Omnitrix isn't really an Omnitrix, Kevin has called it an Antitrix since it has special functions. The most important and notable thing is that all of its alien forms are a kind of monstrous mutation. If not, just take a look at Hotshot, Quad Smack, Wrecking Bolt, Crystal Fist, and Rush, which are aliens that can easily be recognized. With Thornblade, Undertow, Test, Skunkmouth, and Dark Matter, it's very different.
How did you find my missing aliens?
Missing? That's never happened to me. Maybe it only happens to losers.
Kevin was the first to have a chain of species from the Omnitrix, thanks to Dr. Animo, who previously handled this with Vilgax. At first, Kevin didn't know how to use the Antitrix aliens, so he quickly lost to Ben's Humongosaur in their first battle. The intriguing thing about all this is that from the very beginning, someone was already watching Kevin's actions.
I believe I found a better candidate than Tennyson.
The Eternal Knight appears, set to pull the strings this season. The Eternal Knight knows something, and it's very unsettling since he's putting to the test. The skills of Ben's enemies, Vapor Smythe and Zombozo, are the first to be tested and the first to fail. Ben's skills, with his well-known aliens, make him stand out above his enemies. The Eternal Knight, unhappy with the situation, chooses to monitor Kevin closely. In the second round of Ben vs. Kevin, Kevin goes all out with his power. Thornblade and Undertow handle weakening 4 arms, a very powerful alien.
Overflow?
I'm not Overflow, I'm Undertow.
Earlier, we noted that Kevin's Antitrix was modified. It also surprises us by switching from one alien to another. Now it introduces Dark Matter, an alien very different from the Gray Matter we know. This mutation is strong enough to fight 4 arms. Something that sounds crazy, but it gets even stranger since it has a fire attack that can then turn it into a kind of diamond. 4 arms is trapped, and just when Kevin had the battle won, the Antitrix runs out of energy.
Pay attention to unseen things like when your watch stops.
Kevin still has a long way to go. His skills aren't enough to defeat Ben, but they're enough for the Forever Knight to offer him an alliance.
Together, we can crush our enemies and achieve true power.
No thanks, I don't want help from the Tin Knight.
For now, Kevin mocks and rejects the offer, but something tells me this won't end here. On one of their first long Roscopter trips, they aim for the South Pole, but strange magnetic interference leads them to the North Pole instead. This odd event also impacts the Omnitrix, and as they look into it, they find the main problem. Or well, 2 big problems. Solar and Polar Twins debut. And let me tell you, after Dr. Animo, they're some of the brightest minds on planet Earth. Their plan leads them to reverse the magnetic poles, making it so that no electronic device can work, and in the process, causing an environmental catastrophe across the entire planet. Ben had finally found the problem that was making the Omnitrix malfunction, so Ben jumps into the battle, managing to make these brothers fight each other, and lets Heat Blast destroy their machine. With the fields reversed, the machine stops working, allowing the Tennyson team to head to their next stop, Tokyo. There, the Tennyson family visits the Samurai Experience, where Ben's patience is tested. In the middle of the tour, they run into the Forever Knight, who tries to steal a famous sword. Ben becomes Shock Rock, and using his patience defeats 2 AIs. Unconsciously, Ben is using more of the alien's potential than he thinks. Unfortunately, none of his attacks seem to work against the Eternal Knight, who manages to summon a Power Saber and begins to face Shock Rock's attacks.
Wait, why steal a sword if your arm can do that?
With a calmer mind, Ben is different. He realizes that there's something strange about the Eternal Knight's actions. He doesn't let him think and attacks with stronger moves. For his part, Ben decides to go all out and transforms into a Humongosaur. Now, this is where the real punches are gonna fly. Ben manages to land a punch so strong that he breaks the helmet of the Forever Knight. Rather than surrender, he says things that make us think.
You don't know me.
Is that what you think? You're an overconfident kid using borrowed energy from technology you can't control.
The Eternal Knight says goodbye with a confident smile. For his part, Ben feels comfortable. He believes the Eternal Knight isn't an enemy he needs to worry about. Ben has let his guard down, which will cause problems for him later. The Roscopter lets the Tennyson family travel anywhere. Among the most notable, we have the Great Wall, China, Big Ben, and even the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. Now, all these long trips take a toll on the Rosscopter, so Phil has to give it some maintenance. For a while, the Tennysons have to go back to the Rust Bucket. But this makes them easy prey for the tricks of the Eternal Knight, who tries to find Ben's weaknesses by making him fight against Simon. Surrounded by civilians, Ben can't use his full power.
Simon, you're going to hurt someone.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
Simon goes all out while Ben is subtler. Ben tricks him into surrendering before he can hurt anyone else. The only winner was the Eternal Knight, who still closely watches the Tennysons. Charmcaster is saved and recruited for his cause. That's 2 now, and this one's crucial because he plans to recruit Kevin with her. He was so obsessed with defeating Ben that he even followed him to space camp. The battle between Shock Rock and Quad Smack would be interrupted as Charmcaster with a spell would take control of Kevin's powers. And oh my, what was waiting for us? Charmcaster's spells made Kevin's powers stand out even more. The only problem was that Kevin was losing his mind, Kevin didn't want to be controlled, and Charmcaster was getting tired of him. With the Tennysons interrupting at every moment, she decided to cast a spell that would literally make Kevin's powers explode. Kevin, now out of control, had mutated into a combination of all his alien species. Take your piece of nostalgia. Humungosaur would have to stop him, but it would be easy because Kevin wasn't in control of himself. Even though he was facing one of the most powerful beings, he was simply an empty shell. Gwen's idea to destroy the spellbook quickly solved the situation. Charmcaster had failed her mission, but in the process, she had realized a very important fact. Kevin is in love with Gwen and would do anything for her.
Gwen?
But how?
Leave her alone! She's not involved!
The Eternal Knight finally had a key piece on his side. With Kevin being part of the Eternal Knights, things were gonna get better. Having followed the Tennysons for a long time, he knew how they worked. What Kevin never expected was that the Tennyson family would also discover his weaknesses. And let me tell you, deep down, Kevin was simply a kid who was looking for attention and family love.
I got it to mark your first day at Adrenaland.
Give me that, I don't want anyone to see me with the Tennysons.
You could say that Ben ruined everything since he messed with something that no one ever should have.
Why don't you go with your baby grandpa?
At least I have someone to run with. Oh no!
So that's what this is about.
Kevin would reveal his new alien, Bashmouth, to unleash his fury on 4 arms. He would beat him since the new alien's abilities surpassed Ben's. With a clouded mind, Kevin finally gave the Forever Knight valuable information.
I know how you can recruit Ben Tennyson once and for all.
Kevin had informed him that if he needs Ben, the first thing he has to do is separate him from his family. Without this, we all know Ben Tennyson is nothing. The next step was to recruit trustworthy people and even one of his top enemies. The Eternal Knight would begin by recruiting Billy Billions and Vin Ethanol. He would test Kevin's info by kidnapping Team Tennyson. Here things would get very serious, as without warning they would hit Grandpa Max while Ben would have his Omnitrix blocked. With a device that really makes us think Ben was being taken to a battle arena where the Bentathlon would begin.
I would avoid doing that. You're going to need all your strength very soon. Especially if you want to see your family.
Facing that threat, Ben had to win. He would face some of his enemies from the past, whom he would destroy. Most had upgrades from the Eternal Knight, but still couldn't defeat Ben Tennyson. In the cell where the Tennyson team was held, Kyle, the first eliminated, would arrive and literally lend a hand. Now, the Tennyson team had to hurry to rescue Ben, who was about to begin his final battle against Kevin Levin. He was going in with every intention of destroying him with the help of Quad Smack, while Ben, transformed as Shock Rock, felt guilty for everything that was happening. He had no intention of fighting Kevin, so the Eternal Knight would give them a hand. He would trigger all the arena's traps, endangering both gladiators. With the arrival of Team Tennyson, Kevin was about to be crushed, but Ben rescued him. Ben offered to help him escape together, but Kevin refused. Team Tennyson escaped under the Eternal Knight's watch. He had confirmed that the information Kevin had given him was real, but at the same time, he had discovered that his loyalty was influenced by his feelings. The Roscopter had taken several hits from the Eternal Knight's henchmen, so Phil was needed once again. For his part, Ben, tired of so many bad things, decided to go for a walk with Glitch. Yes, Glitch is alive and in the form of a car. Everything seemed to be going relatively well until it went relatively bad. The bounty hunter Tetrax had arrived to capture Ben. And let me tell you, this time he actually did it. Or maybe not. Bounty hunters Crab and 6-6 were still angry with Tetrax, so they planned to use the situation to get revenge. Tetrax couldn't let Ben go now. Someone important had paid a lot for Ben Tennyson. Let me tell you, it wasn't the Forever Knight, and that's an important detail. With his ship destroyed, his only option was to escape, but Crab and 6-6 made it difficult. They were going all out. With 4Arms' help, Ben intervened, but I'd say he was a bit too late. Crab would take advantage of the situation, and in that brief moment of carelessness, he would approach Tetrax and cut off his arm. He'd have to let Ben Tennyson help him fight. Ben would turn into Shock Rock and positively change the battle's outcome.
I owe you one, so I'll let you go. But the next time we meet, I'll collect.
After all that happened, Ben would have a crisis, leaving him in bad shape, believing the Eternal Knight was behind everything. Ben started to be on alert for several periods of time, which led him to misinterpret several things.
Who else would it be?
It's an old ghost town. It's in bad condition.
No, this time for real.
The Eternal Knight's plan was starting to work. Now, to secure his objective, he had placed bombs all over the cavern, where Grandpa Max and the others were taking a tour. Ben, determined to investigate with XLR-8, ends up facing the Eternal Knight, who appears to be someone else. He knew XLR-8's moves, so it was easy to catch him. Ben tried to protect his family but encountered the Eternal Knight, who warned him that if he didn't join, his family would always be at risk. Ben had saved his family and the town, who instead of thanking him, simply criticized him.
Your actions caused a lot of harm today. At no point has anyone seen it except you. Acting on those impulses endangered us and the town?
Ben couldn't believe it. His family didn't trust him. Angry, he made the worst decision and went to accept the Eternal Knight's offer.
Max, I got your urgent message.
We need your help, Phil. Ben disappeared. He was mysterious, but I never thought he'd do this.
The Tennyson team turned to Phil, the only one who could find him. After the battle with Vilgax, he learned the Omnitrix can emit a frequency while continuing his analysis. Whether it's working or not, so by analyzing the frequencies, they managed to locate Ben in Switzerland. This place worries Grandpa Max and Phil a lot. Due to the seriousness of the matter, Phil decides to give more detailed information.
We've tracked Forever's movements over the last few months.
But who?
Focus on the objective, Gwen.
For some reason, Grandpa Max keeps hiding information, but does it really matter? They know Ben's location and aim to stop him. Inside the Eternal Knight's Swiss fortress, he gathers everyone to share his master plan and introduce the newest member, Ben Tennyson. Everyone panics, aware Ben Tennyson will betray them once he learns their plan. Ben says he's following the Eternal Knight's orders so his former enemies will trust him. This is enough for the Eternal Knight, who decides to begin his plan to build a time portal. Thanks to the Roscopter, the Tennis reach Switzerland, but Billy Billion's defenses and drones are blocking their entry.
There are too many of them.
I saw a shortcut. Follow me.
Now that the machine is built, the Kinectellerans can do their job. Their goal is to reach 1,430 kilometers per hour to activate the portal, something that, as you can imagine, they achieve. Charmcaster uses her magic to stabilize the portal. Also, link the Gauntlet of the Eternal Knight to grant him the ability to travel anywhere and any time. With all the preparations ready, the Eternal Knight and Ben get ready to leave. But Team Tennyson arrives just in time to rescue Ben, interrupting them. The issue is Ben has already decided.
Ben, we're here to help.
Leave. I don't need you anymore.
The Tennysons are surprised by Ben's words, but they dismiss them. Everyone is sure that Ben's actions must have a reason, so they trust Ben blindly. something that's going to be worth it.
Calm down, big guy. I won't help with your evil plan.
It's too late to reveal.
Ben never thought about betraying them. His only goal was to discover their real plan, which was to prevent the first alien contact, the main reason why the Omnitrix is on Earth. Now, Ben thought that fighting the Eternal Knight was going to be easy, but it wasn't. Ben had underestimated him in the past, and it was time to pay the consequences. The Eternal Knight had knowledge of how to fight against Ben's aliens.
It seems that alien contact was not achieved in this era.
We must go to the next place in time.
After ancient Egypt, they go to Renaissance France. Ben should go all out to try to stop the Eternal Knight, but not even Diamond Head's skills and toughness could stand up to him. No alien seemed to give him a decent fight, so together with Ben, they ruled out this point and would move on to the last. As they traveled through time, another battle raged outside. Phil fought Billy Billions and Simon's drones, while Grandpa Max tried to reason with Vin Ethanol. Gwen feared the worst as she faced Kevin and Charmcaster. The Tennysons all lost battles, but each villain's ambition caused their failure. Kevin would let himself be guided by his feelings and would help Gwen and the others. With such great help, it was time to go after Ben, who truly needed it. Even Shock Rock couldn't handle the Eternal Knight. They arrived at the right place and time, Phil's house in the past. And let me tell you, these two were the ones in charge of receiving the first alien contact.
Someone is talking.
Or rather, something?
With Kevin and Gwen fighting, things would finally be resolved. They would join Wrath, and together their strength would stop the Eternal Knight. Gwen used the situation to steal the Time Gauntlet and try returning to her time. Although the Eternal Knight, full of frustration, would seek revenge against these three, he'd pick Gwen, the easiest target since Kevin and Ben would lose their transformations in the time tunnel. After the lost battle, Kevin knew it was time to change history. He needed to make up for his mistakes and protect the only people who had treated him like family. Kevin would sacrifice himself for the Tennysons, defeat the Eternal Knight, and become lost in the time tunnel. With the Tennyson team complete and the bad guys finally stopped, the Tennyson family was reunited. Though reuniting brought happiness, there was little to celebrate, because in the process they had lost Kevin. Although the return of a helmet in the time tunnel makes us think otherwise, if you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate it. Review the 4th season summary. If YouTube allows, we'll start live streams soon. Stay tuned to the channel's community, I'll be very active these last days. I have 2 more videos to upload before year's end, so I hope you can join me during these little breaks. Since everyone who writes Merry Christmas Frio in the comments will get a shout out in the last video of the year that I have prepared. That's it from me. Enjoy these last days with your family and these wonderful people. Goodbye. Remember, I'm Frio, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.